What do you think, buddy? You're live on the interweb. Yep. It's gee whiz. It's been well, yeah, I know. It's been pretty nice morning. You can kind of see way off in the distance there some blue. But our weather comes from the west, and that way is west, which is a little bit of cloud. So we had blue going to east. Sun's over there to the southeast. Luke's to the southeast. He's looking north. Kathy's here. Hello, Kathy. We've got can't see the mountains, too cloudy, but they were gorgeous this morning. Morning, I mean, like, it's still morning, but early morning. Having a staring contest. Carol's here. Hello, Carol. What's up, buddy? Sue's here. Hello, Sue. It is chilly here. It's I mean, I'm working, so I'm pretty warm. I've got a sweater on, but I'm warm. But it's chilly. It's about 1 degree Celsius for all you Americans. It's what, 34, 35? 32 is freezing, right? I think so. So, I'm gonna chuck some horses out. I'm up at the top here. I'm waiting. He's been rumbling at me. Oh, lots of people. Gwen's Sakoti, Suki the Tzu, and Brenda. Hello. Luke says hello. Let's see if he rumbles at me one more time. Look at that big ear. If I get it just right, I can hide the sun. And then he moves. He's got one ear back, eh? What's he got the one ear back for? Is he going to give up on me? It's like, God, this human is deaf. He's not listening. I imagine that horses think the humans are pretty dumb. Where's the hay? He might be. He's still got some left over in his hay bag. He's okay. Definitely not run out. Horsey chore morning. See, the water's got a 1/8 inch covering of ice. Got down to about 0 -1 last night. Not much. Pretty mild. Pretty hey, Pop. Okay, enough of this staring at the horse. Let's stare at a different horse. Flat again a little bit. See, I don't know if I explained the story, but I was driving the Gator with Haley in the back, the forest, and we were cruising along pretty good in the little trail there. And then I bumped into a root that was sort of hidden by a bunch of leaves and stuff like that, and it sort of bent the rim. Hey, somebody's dog. Not my neighbor's dog. I don't know whose dog that is. It's somebody's dog. Maybe the neighbors. Dogs get out all the time around here. Ruli's out. I've chucked her out already. Been working on chores. Anybody want to say hi to Lena? Before she took her hay bag off. It's unusual, but once in a while it happens. She takes her hay bag off, and look at the ground here. She's clearly been dragging it around, eating everything out of it. Fish comes. Says, hey, how's it going? Hi, Lena. Some ear scratches for her. She loves them. You guys already know this. A little quirky thing about Lena. She's a big fan of ear scratches. Both sides. I know. I need two hands to get it done right, because you got to kind of pull the ear down so that when you scratch on the inside, all the little bits and pieces and whatever don't go further into the ear, down into there. That would be bad. There. Let's put the other one on that side, and it's perfect, right? Let's put a little up there, a little up there, there. Okay. What do you guys think? That looks good. Okay, let's get on. Hi, Nanners. What are you doing? Now am I calling? Doing hair? I don't know about that. I don't know. Somebody needs to cut these out. They're dead. She's a Muppet. Yeah. She's a Muppet. Okay, Ruli's out, so let's give her a bit of company. She's only been out for whatever, however long I've been on this live stream, plus 5 minutes. So let's get some horses out here on this day. Huh. Looks like a papillion. What's that? Damn it, now I gotta learn something new. Alright. I'll have to look up papillion one day. Maybe today. Okay, I'm gonna go find some horses. Let's see, who should we put out first? I don't think I've ever done her hair that way, but man, that is funny to look at from here. Okay, she'll just shake her head once and it'll be gone. Papillion is a dog breed, means butterfly. Small little dog. Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen those little dudes or dudettes. They're hilarious. Okay, let's Papillon. You don't pronounce the L? Alright. Thanks, Carol. My ignorance of dog breeds has gone down just a little. I'll be back. the other way. One. There. Back up. Over here. As much as I want Gracie to be some high entertainment, because she is an awful lot of fun, I do have to steadily work on making her quiet to leave. So anyways, we'll put some more horses in. She'll ramp up just fine. Really sort of sets her straight pretty quick. I don't even know how she does it, because really never kicks or does anything fantastic. She just has a presence about her that just says, knock it off. Okay, so let's put Luke in. He's next. Okay, there's Luke. He went in pretty chill. You know, sometimes I wonder if the order of putting the horses in produces or creates or incites uh, the excitement. Guess I should keep a data set. Okay, let's go get the Muppet. She's not Muppet anymore. She shook her head though. So, not a Muppet. That was easy. Lena's the easiest. In fact, I've taken to experimenting with her of actually not using a halter. She does great. She just follows me around. It's really nice. See that fog in the background? It's a really beautiful day. Sun's just kind of cruising through. A little bit of, okay, let's get the big one, because she's waiting patiently up there. Next horse, Nanners. Okay, that's the big one. The last horse is Roni. He's at the back, so I'm gonna leave Rue out again. A couple people ask, what's up? Well, it's got a tendon thing, no, sorry, ligament thing going on. Just giving him a break. All good. Happens. Oh, there goes Lena. Luke's gone down for either a roll or a lie down. It's at the very, very back. Anyways, we'll let Roni out. They'll all come racing up to the front. It'll be good. The sun burning off the frost on the cover to read. The internet died briefly, but we're back. Anyways, I was seeing the frost burning off this thing is, I don't know if it really shows well on camera, but or on your screen, but boy, in person. Okay, let's go get the quarter horse and see what happens. It's a quiet morning. It really, really is. It's I mean, peaceful is good. The tripod is not level. Let's level this up a bit. There. It's going down for a roll. Yeah, super quiet morning. Some mornings are just like this. But then, funny enough, I'll wander off and go do something out of sight, and I'll come back and they'll be running around like the other day when I put up a video where they're all steaming hot. It just went crazy, and I wasn't even out here to see it. Whoa, geez, how many rolls over did he do? 2, right? It's $2,000. That's exactly what he cost. So, it works out right. Off he goes. Exit stage left. Okay, it looks like we got a few comments going on here. Let's see. Carol was a dog groomer. That's cool. You have to know the dog breeds. Yeah, I bet they're all a little different. Perfect way to know how to pronounce it. Papillon. French is hard. It's a French word. Got it. Sue's here. Hello, Sue. We've got 2 Sues. Caught a live chat. I know I don't do enough of these things. I've been really, really meaning to. But my morning's been taken up with a few other things. Get him, Roni. Bite him in the butt. The boys are playing all the time now. It's really nice. Yeah, my morning's been taken up doing all kinds of projects and stuff around here. So I don't tend to have a lot of... I chuck them out and I try to get a little video here and there. I know you guys enjoy it. I enjoy it. Let's see. Carol's getting 2 Boston Terrier puppies for Christmas. One for me, one for my cousin, she says. Wow, Boston Terriers. They're cute little guys, aren't they? Sue says she wants Gracie for Christmas. Sold! Come get her. Ha! And then it says, Gwen says, I doubt he'll ever give up baby Gracie. Sold. Immediately sold. Sue, get over here. Gracie is Haley's. Well, I gave one of those Gracie blankets to her. She just was she's so happy. She cried a little. She's, oh, wow. It's a gorgeous blanket. Really nice, soft and warm. Thanks to everybody who's picked one up, by the way. You're going to love it. Yes, Haley would have something to say. I tried to tell her that I was going to rename Gracie for sale, but she just keeps arguing. Pretty much along the lines of, it's a big fat no. But, yeah, she's here for a bit. Boys are playing, it's good. Gary's here. I love horses, and hello, Gary. I love horses, and have 2, a mare and her baby. That's cool. Babies are fun. Carol says, God made the golden retriever and man made the rest. I was watching something recently. I'm not trying to refute this or say anything about that, but it reminded me of a thing I was watching. And people were talking about where dogs came from, and they commenting on how they came from wolves and how we domesticated a wolf, and then got all these breeds out of them, supposedly. I don't know. I thought, really? Out of a wolf? You can get like a poodle out of a wolf? That really happened? I don't know. Marianne's here. Hello. Hopefully you got your questions answered about hoof boots and stuff. I was reminded of some stories that you get from, I don't know, barn managers and barn supervisors and barn people, and everybody's got an opinion and stuff, and it's kind of about how you present it is important. And well, they're moving now a little bit. Nanner, just kick them. Kick on. Those two back and forth, back and forth. Sooner or later, she either boots them or bites them or something. Yeah, where were we? Yeah, you know, it's funny thing. Ruli's waiting for her boyfriend to arrive. Yeah, I'm going to put Rue out a little later. Maybe with Ruli, maybe with Gracie. Just to kind of get around a little bit. He moves around. He's got a good sized paddock, so he gets a lot of movement walking wise, which is perfect. It's exactly what he needs, just walking. And freely on his own, he can move around, or he can just stand around, which he tends to do as well. So it's good. Caden's here. Hello, Caden. Caden says no. I'm not sure who you're saying no to. Let me know. Helen's here from Sweden. Welcome from BC, Canada. I guess Sweden's the country, isn't it? I gotta say Canada. BC's the province here. It's like a state. It's dark outside in Sweden. Yep, I would imagine so. Yes, Marianne's from Norway. It gets dark. We get dark at by 4:30 or so. We've got some pretty darkness going on, and I mean, it's getting, yeah, pretty dusky. 5 o'clock is definitely dark. Yeah, it sucks. Looking forward to the seasons changing again, the earth. Turn it back around. Ida's here. Hello, Ida. I know. There they go. Everybody's moving a little. Not a lot. See, even Rue's moving around. We'd like him not to move around like that, but just walk, buddy. Just a walk. Neighbors are working. You can probably hear the engine. Kid's a gamer. Cool. What games do you play? All right, Mariana. Finally down at the bottom. Rebecca's here. Hello, Rebecca. Yes, I did. She seems to be walking much better now with boots on her fronts. It's super common. Yep, so don't get yourself too worried about that. Let's see, what else we got? But they insinuated that I should get a shot to work on her frog, which just makes me shake my head and just reject all advice from them. Yes, so Marianne had posted. Gwen says she wants Luke for Chris. Luke is yeah, you'd have to come visit. Unfortunately, he won't. One of us will die before the other together. Yeah, so I guess I'd have to die for you to get him. I don't even know where he'd go. Either way. Anyways, Marianne had posted something interesting about the weather change, and I kind of thought about bringing it up at some point, because the weather's changing here, so the ground gets a little harder. Things start to, look at these three. Gracie thought she'd kick the barrel for good measure. Flicking her tail at Luke. She tells him what to do an awful lot. An awful lot. Anyways, the ground changes, starts to freeze up, get hard, and if it's not smooth, then obviously it's going to freeze up and pretty much be very bumpy, spiky, kind of sharp in some areas, and And some people get pretty worried that their horses have real problems because they can't walk on that properly. And I'd sort of commented on that. Sometimes horses can walk, just cautiously, and sometimes gingerly. So gingerly being obviously that it hurts to walk on that particular type of ground, um, and cautiously is where they're going to walk around, um, so they don't step into a hole or something like that, which is really uncomfortable. I mean, just like us, we don't want to step sideways on a hole or something like that, turn an ankle. They're just as sensitive about their pasterns and knees and hocks and all that. It's very normal. And so when the ground changes, when we live, and I'm pretty sure Norway is not too far off of what um, we have here, where it gets pretty soft and um, muddy, or you know it's not going to be pointy, it's not going to be rough, it's not going to be hard to walk on, and then suddenly it freezes, and then all these horses are walking around carefully, gingerly, or whatever, and it's actually quite normal. But there are plenty of people who have been taught and are convinced that to chuck some shoes on solves the problem. So, from an immediate standpoint, it's true. It does sort of not solve the problem, but it lifts the horse off of that ground so that the bottom of their hooves likely don't touch those hard spots as much. So yeah, there is definitely visible evidence or objective observation that we can say, yeah, you put a couple of shoes on and add 3/4 of an inch to the hoof, and they're going to stand a little taller off of that stuff, and that will be uh, less painful. Drew's playing with his gate. He's trying to get it open. I gotta go bug him. Hang on. I collected up some hay bags and stuff. Anyways, back on with the story. Um, the um, the the idea that to shoe them is to solve it is it's kind of short-term thinking. So you can put a brace on a broken arm or a broken wrist and it'll probably protect it, but it never solves the problem. You got to fix the break. And when I refer to it like that, I don't mean that the foot's broken, but there could be something that's going on. A healthy horse will definitely walk around kind of carefully, for sure, for two reasons. One, they might be a little unhealthy, and two, they could be pretty healthy, but just not used to it yet. And it can take a little bit, just like us. If you take your shoes off and walked around in just your socks on the gravel and stuff, you'd probably, you'll walk around carefully. But if you take your socks off and try to walk around, it'll be that much more difficult, more sharp. But over time, you'd be fine. You'd build up some callus, you'd build up some tolerance. The nerve endings, I believe, sort of become more dull. I mean, as long as you're not puncturing your foot and stuff like that, it's fine. But you're very sensitive to that because you're not used to it. So it's quite normal. And shoeing them doesn't solve anything other than to just lift them up a little higher off the ground. If we think about it that way, there's only one thing that they could possibly be doing, and that is just lifting the hoof off of the ground. There's no fixing that gets done. If anything, you end up putting holes in the hoof, you end up bruising the hoof. Hopefully the person's a decent shoer and they don't do some real damage, but there's plenty out there that get lots of damage done, and generally they end up getting trimmed incorrectly as well for the biological structure. Something to think about, but that's all stuff that has to be observed and case by case. But for them to be kind of soft in the foot because they've been living in the life of wetness and moist, and soft, it's like walking around on the beach and then you come off the beach onto the pathway and you put your flip-flops back on, kind of thing, because it's uncomfortable now. It's like that. But if you lived there and you did it every single day, sooner or later that gravel pathway wouldn't bother you. You wouldn't think anything of it. And just like the horses do. And they walk around careful enough. But if there are any health problems, like something wrong with how the walls are, how the bars are, or how the frog is, then you just kind of get those things resolved. That will make things worse. And as Marianne says, just put some boots on. Boots are fantastic. They can go on, they can go off. I gotta go bug-roo again. Anybody's wondering what I mean by go bug-roo, I'm really just trying to discourage him from kicking the gate. It's like a horse being in a stall and they kick a stall and stuff like that, and you go in there and say stop. Usually those guys are hungry, but he'd like to come out and play. I understand, but I can't have him playing with the gate too much. He'll break it. Kicker, really? So get off of me. Anders was quite nice about it though. She didn't bite her or nothing. So. And he's back on the gate again. Little turd. So anyway, so yeah, Marianne, you're doing good with your idea. It's a good idea. Put some boots on. Take them off when you can and let your horse get used to things. Things are unhealthy. Keep treating them. Keep fixing them. But shoeing, there's no science behind. I would genuinely, if that person, if you felt like that person was willing to have some kind of conversation, I would say, can you give me the science behind how it fixes the problem? And they would probably say they don't know. They've done it. It works. Their horses are all better. They're not walking around like yours. You say, yeah, but how does it fix the problem? Where does it fix it? See, all we're really doing is lifting the foot off the ground. So what's the difference in booting? I'm not putting any holes in my horse's hoof. I'm not over trimming to fit a shoe onto the hoof, or trimming, you know, so it has some extra. So I would ask those questions and see what kind of answers you get. You never know. Maybe you learn something out of it. Maybe you'll be like, look, this is why, and let me know. I'm curious. I haven't seen any evidence yet. I do understand that shoeing them does that. Anyways, big topic. What do we got for comments going on here? COVID. What's this? Gwen's lost a mom? Oh no. Sorry to hear about that. That's terrible. I'm going it back even further. Hang on a second. Where are we? Sue says tried to come visit COVID-19. Yeah. Yeah. Gwen, sorry about that. That's terrible. You must be. That's hard. That's super hard. Change the topic. Next question comes from Lou. Who's the Pinto? That's Lena. Even the shod horse is super careful in the paddock right now. That's true. Because even if you lift off a 3/4 inch off the ground, all it takes is any one of those spots to be more than that, and they're going to touch. It's normal, and it's the way it goes. Just let them get used to it. We've got lots of frozen ground coming our way. So. Oh, Gwen, sorry about that. Whole family tested positive, eh? Jeez, it's a big deal. I don't know anybody that... I think I know one person who's had it and everything was fine, but it's unusual here. We don't see it a lot. Big deal. It's a big deal. Super sorry to hear that. Sue says, oh, Hannah hasn't treated anyone else the same as she's treated Tana. No, actually, which is quite interesting. Only Tana. Well, Hannah's in heat. Yeah. She's, Luke really goes after the girls when they're ready to move around like that. It's interesting. When it says the videos bring some joy. Well, that's wonderful. I mean, the horses, it's the horses. They're wonderful. Had somebody tell me not too long ago they're scared of horses. You might be able to meet a little tiny one or something like that, just a little baby one or something. A little mini horse. I said, you gotta be kidding me, these guys are great. Horses are wonderful. Any idea why she's fixated on Tana? Nope. No idea. Just something in her. Something in her says that's what I'm gonna do. Wow, good job, Tana. I don't know if you guys caught that. She made a great stop and Luke had to zip by her. Wonder if I should go chase Luke around a little. Well, Hannah would sort of chase Tana around till she got her as a friend. I made a couple of videos about it. It's pretty interesting stuff. It's really unusual. Sorry, just trying to zoom out a little. Carol says a barefooted horse is a better footed horse. Yeah, with proper care and stuff, it's healthier, 100%. Lots and lots of science to back that up. She bullied her until they became friends, sort of. I'm gonna chase Luke off for a second. Well, I got that sorted. Nick loves to be a pest. It's interesting. I'm not sure what they think of it as. Yeah, Carol's got it right. Luke's in timeout. Really's cute and innocent. I'd say so. Until she starts screaming like a dinosaur. Okay, so Sue says, I would think that if Ohana was that dominant or possessive of one horse, remove that horse. Why not be possessive same or similar way to another? Roni was that way with Lena, then Really. Just not as overwhelming. Why not remove the horse? Because I think it's good socialization. Nobody was getting hurt. If I see horses that look like they're going to have fights and stuff, which is unusual, but it does happen, I do remove horses. I won't put them together. I don't think that it's worth doing that socialization unless they're my own, or if the owner asks me to. Of course, all those horses are not shod. Nobody comes here shod for reasons of possible damage. Rue's gonna hassle the gate again. Two things. I'm trying to get Rue to respond a little better to an audio cue of a whistle or a clap, to have him sort of leave the gate alone. He's doing okay. I've only had to go over a few times. It's pretty good. The other thing, the neighbors are way over that way, are working on their yard, and somebody's smoking. The air is so clean and clear here that I can actually pick up the smell of somebody smoking 300 feet away. It's crazy. Anyhow, where was I? Oh yeah, so socialization. I think it's okay, especially if there's no damage. I don't know why she was being protective, or I don't know if it's possessive, because nobody else wanted Tana around. Maybe she was protecting Rue. We don't know, but nobody was getting hurt, so that's why I wouldn't take them out. The rest is all just guessing: possessiveness, protectiveness, being a pest. All these terms we happily use. Boy, Ruli's really telling Roni, give me some space, quarter horse. It's all guesswork. So objectively we can see it's still safe. I believe objectively we can see that no harm, no foul kind of idea, like there's nothing, no kicking or biting happening. When Tana stopped, Ohana stopped, took off the pressure, looked away, looked back kind of friendly like. So that's sort of my answer to that. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, and it's an interesting, it's a very common training pattern for humans to use, primarily in round pens, where you kind of push a horse around until they sort of check in with you and try not to tune you out. And that can come at totally different levels. It come from, the really aggressive, where they're whipping and chasing, to the really subtle. Just looking at the horse causes them to feel pressure and move. You know, it can be at all levels, and it's fascinating stuff. Totally fascinating. Strong smell of smoking. It's nuts. They're so far away. There's nobody even near my property. The wind is definitely coming from the west. It's subtle, but it's there. Olives, I'm good. How are you? It's Wednesday. Did you get your blanket? Should have got it by now. Beautiful day. Really nice. Not too bright. Just a little bit of cloud cover, which is good. You're welcome. Glad you like it. I like it too. You and Healy matching blankets. Yeah, there. I mean, I could be wrong, Sue. You know, don't get me wrong. I never try to make myself as the person who knows everything, but when I look at what's happening, I try to observe those things. Like my bar to separate horses out is, are they getting hurt? Kirby's here. Hello, Kirby. Welcome. My bar is to see if horses are getting hurt. Are they getting hurt? Are they kicking? Are they biting? Is it playful? Is it not playful? Is somebody trying to pin somebody in a corner? It was never that. It never seemed aggressive. And again, aggressive is sort of subjective, but I know I've been around horses enough. I guess I could definitely be able to tell the difference between aggressive and not aggressive, I guess. It's thin but heavy. Yes, that is the interesting thing about it. I thought the same thing. You know, they don't always have to be puffy, but boy, when you sort of bundle up in it, it holds in the warmth, and it's super soft. Softest ever, I know. Softest blanket ever. It is silky smooth. I like the colors too. They turned out really nice. Kirby says, love your channel. Thanks. Appreciate that. Horses are quiet. They are today. Yeah. It's good. I like quiet. Quiet for now. It's nap time in a way. You know, it's just really nice. Oh, Luke's at it again, eh? Bananas went to him. She went over to him. She could have gone another direction. They do this all the time. Mine are wild. Yeah, it depends on the day. Sometimes these guys really get moving, and other days they just look like this. Quiet, peaceful, head in a barrel. What do I feed them? I feed them hay. That's it. 99% hay. Especially in the winter. It's just you know, 24/7 hay. How's the weather? Weather's good. It's chilly. I'd say right now it's about 5 degrees. But I think we had about -1. It's all Celsius, by the way. Last night. So things got a little frosty. Very thin layer of ice on the waters. No big deal. It's gorgeous out. Subaru's calmed down. Kirby's forgot the names. No problem. We've got Roni, Ruli, Luke, Ohana, the other brown one. The big brown one's Ohana. The littler, gangly looking one that's following here, that's Luke. One being pushed around is Ohana. This brown one is for sale. Just kidding, her name's Gracie. Hi, Crystal. And then over behind there is Lena. For sale. It's one word. FERSAIL. For sale. She's not for sale. I didn't say she was for sale. Her name is For Sale. Fersail. For sale. Yeah, Haley likes that joke too. I'm a Gmaw. I love that name. Any new horses coming soon? Hopefully. I got a request for a couple to come in for some training early next year. COVID has slowed the horse industry down a little, for sure. That's okay. Lots of things to catch up on around here. It's winter time. Things tend to slow down in winter time. They don't kick them, Nanners. Kick them in the chest. She just back and forth, back and forth. He says, "Get moving. Let's get some exercise," which is actually good. Oh, Hannah needs exercise. So does Lena, actually. They both could use a good amount of trotting. Gorgeous morning. Where do you live? I might need a horse for training, says Kirby. Where do I live? Probably not near you, but who knows? I'm in Canada, in a province called British Columbia, in a city called Maple Ridge. Horse country, essentially. A lot of horses around here. And in the surrounding cities as well. Probably wrong country, right? Oh. Luke's moving everybody. Wish you were closer. Thanks. Well, you can always move. Look at that. Luke almost climbed up. He has never done that. I think maybe once in my life I've seen him do that. It's unusual. He's gelding, obviously, so nothing's really going to happen. Bam! Butt punch. These guys. Rick says, I think we all wish that. Oh, thanks, buddy. Gma says, COVID's put a strain on things. I'm a self-boarder, and we're still lucky to be able to go to the barn. There's that, too. You know, a lot of, thanks, Sue. There's a lot of people who, when things get locked down quite a bit, they can't go see their horses. That's tough. That's actually one of the things that my boarders are quite happy about. They get to see their horses all the time, because I make a lot of videos. Luke's kind of a pest, isn't he? I'm watching him and feeling a little bit irritated just watching him be a pest. Let's chase him off again. It's fun being out there anyways. Didn't even have to do anything. Just showed up. Luke is a little spoiled. He is. He is a little too spoiled for sure. It's okay. Gracie's going to set him straight. Kirby says, do you offer positive training or negative training? Well, I don't know. You'd probably have to... Carol says, too cold, poor horses. Oh, we've got one of these people on here. The training style, I'm pretty open book. I've got a lot of videos on training. The idea of negative or positive training is kind of an odd one. Irina's here. Do you hurt them? No. Hurt the horses. Ron's here. Hello, Ron. Don't worry about that other Carol. She'll go away. There's no way she'll stick around on this channel. Look at that. Doesn't that look amazing? Oh, hang on. Let's get that back. Yep. Yeah, welcome to the live stream, Irina. So do you hurt them? No, it's a let's see. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about training styles, positive, negative, a little bit. You're amazing. Lots of people do it. Yes, of course. Of course. So negative reinforcement training essentially, I think Luke just got whacked by Roni. So he's got to go over and tell somebody else what to do. Good job, Rons. I'm next. See, so right there, Roni just hurt him. Horses train horses with pain. Doesn't mean we have to. Hang on a second. I'm just gonna... Oh, he's not doing anything. Maybe I'll... Ah, see? Nanner's backed up into him. Let's not feel too sorry for that guy. See? She's like, hey, follow me around. Oh, well. So, negative and positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement, people tend to equate to giving treats and treat training. But positive reinforcement training can be many things. And as you'll see, if you were to watch through some of them, I tend to talk about scratching and petting and, you know, sort of trying to meet their needs in that regard, where we communicate and we say, what do you need? And it's not that you can't use carrots and apples, but I don't know if there's a lot of benefit for food trading. So I tend not to use it myself. I don't want horses hassling me for food all the time. I'd rather them hassle me for scratches, to be honest. So that's kind of how I look at it. It's both positive reinforcement. See, Nanners is backing right up into him. I don't feel too sorry for Luke all the time, or for the other horses. Sometimes I feel sorry for him, because she targets him. She says, let's go, buddy. She comes in, she goes to him first. So then we look to, well, what's negative reinforcement? And there's some negative, and there's a lot of actually negative reinforcement. A lot of videos out there training in ways that are destructive. Too much pressure. You know, they see Luke do that? He just stopped her cold. And it's too much pressure. And, you know, too much pressure can be all kinds of stuff. It doesn't have to be whacking them. You can just kind of, you know, when I show up into the arena there, they all look at me. If I were to do more and I didn't want more, I'd get too much and it would be too much pressure. Tana was a great example. I've talked about it quite a bit. She was a great example of a horse that had too much pressure for her training over time, and then I had to undo it somehow, which happened, and she was fine. Horses recover pretty good. They're good. But it was too much, and she wasn't trainable because of too much pressure. to the extent that that trainer wanted her trained. Anyways, the point is that it is very unusual to have to dish out any type of pain. I mean, other than for safety issues, you know, if a horse is attacking or going to kick you, stuff like that, you know, there's going to be a reason why they're trying to kick you. But if you're just kind of minding your own business, sort of thing, but then it's a long topic, isn't it? It's a big topic. I definitely wouldn't put a horse's safety above my own, but I try very, very hard never to be in a situation like that. But there are times when it does happen, and if you've got to swing a rope around to say, "Hey, out of my space," then I would definitely do that. But you really, really try hard not to. You try not to put yourself in that situation. You try to give as many warnings as you can, I guess you could say. I talk a lot about getting big or getting loud. Just now, like trying to talk to Rue over in the corner, he's bugging his gate. I whistle and I clap. I make loud noises. And that should be pressure. As soon as he walks away, I'm done. I'm gone. That's it. I don't have to go over there and do anything. He's done what he needs to do, and it's good. And so we train by trying to whisper. It's probably the best way to put it. Do your very best to whisper. If you got to talk a little louder, you talk a little louder. If you got to yell, you got to yell. And worst case scenario, you got to, you know, swing something around to say, out of my space. No different than they do. And we definitely can't put out as much pain as a back leg, a back hoof. So I try not to get too bogged down in those types of things, because we're never really trying to be there anyways. It's a last resort. And that's becoming much more normal. You don't see so many videos anymore, especially you know, the higher end trainers are definitely all being more careful and not breaking out the ropes so often or the whip so often. It's odd because some of them are not. Some of them are just staying ignorant and causing their horses to bleed and stuff. I mean, I hear the stories, I see them. What's up, Lena? It's Lena. It's crazy, you know. Somebody, some high eventer or dressage or jumper, she was caught. Horse was bleeding on its sides from too much spur action. She made some excuse, something like that. It's controversial, but it isn't. It shouldn't be controversial. It should be like, that's bad. Don't do that. Stop making your horse bleed. Why does it even get to that? It just blows my mind. I make my horses move by changing the shift my seat. I sit up straight. You know. Pooing time. Before Luke makes a mess of that. Anyways, the other definition of negative training is going about using pressure to get what you want. So in that regard, yeah. Pressure is definitely one of those things that happens. You gotta use both. And I don't know if I want to call it pressure, because I try to call it drive and draw. So I definitely will drive horses around, because when you're riding, you're driving, meaning that you're placing pressure with your body or your legs. Some people go much further. They wear spurs. Some of them are sharp. Some people use whips, sticks. That's all drive. You're driving them. You're not drawing them. Drawing them is where you're leading out. You're moving and they're following. Let me see if I can give an example, and I'll drive Roni, and then I'll draw him. Gracie, come on, you guys. I guess it's been about an hour. They're gonna go. Hang on a second. So we'll see. Let me see here. Let me see if I can keep Roni over here, and I'm going to drive him over here, and then I'm going to draw him hopefully towards me. The pressure and release, drive and draw, is integral to horse communication. I don't consider it negative, although it has been, the pressure part of the drive part has been determined to be a negative reinforcement. But some people I think sometimes it goes a little far, where just asking for stuff, or yeah, it's determined. It's not negative, it's normal. I think. Anyway, so I'll give you an idea, and you see it all the time with the horses. Horses do it all the time. Let's okay, let's see. Okay, so that is a subtle example of drive and draw. I don't know if you guys caught that. I might have to do a redo, or I'll cut this part out and maybe talk about it. But when I brought him over to the corner here, pushing him out, driving him out, and then stepping back and looking to give him an indication he ought to come over to me and stop, that's also pressure to stop, and then hopefully draw. Drawing means he comes towards me, or reaches towards me, or leans my way. Luke, here's pressure. Yes, Luke is very spoiled. He does not care. Hang on. Okay, so there's pressure. There's drive. Send him off. And that's okay. It's normal. It's all right. Because sooner or later you can do a little less and a little less. And again, we're going back to try to whisper. Go back to whisper to talk to them. Ideally. What do we got for comments? Let me look back here. Marianne says, none of these horses are cold. They're steaming hot. Don't worry. Carol's long gone. Long gone. Olives is talking about Gracie coming in. Interesting to see her progression. I agree. She is a good looking horse. And you miss Peggy, hey Sue? Me too. I enjoy Peggy being here. Positive reinforcement or negative reinforcement? Yeah. I don't know who came up with this positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement stuff, but it's been very confusing in the horse world. A lot of people get confused. It's all right though. Ron says, I'm in Pennsylvania and ours live in the cold. They can't wait to get out in it every day. I want to credit you on how great they all look. They look very healthy. Great job. Thank you. Yeah, don't worry. When there's, once every couple of months, somebody will pop into this channel and they'll say something negative like that. I don't know what to even say. I just, if it seems, look at that. See, there's pressure. Luke moves and Roni stops. Is it negative reinforcement training? Seems pretty effective. But he's not trying to draw Luke, right? But we're trying to draw our horses. We want to get everything done with draw if we can. Yeah, anyways, Ron, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I think the horses look great as well. I'm a little biased, they're mine. But I hear that a lot, so I really appreciate that. But people really do feel, if all horses need blankets, they all need to be put in barns with heaters, because it's how they're taught, it's what they think they know, and it's okay. But this just isn't the channel for them. They're probably not interested in learning, and that's okay too. That's all right. Kirby says, never seen your barn. Well, one of them looks like that. It's dry, it's standing, and then the other one is here. It doesn't hold horses at all. It holds hay and stuff. And that one has 2 stalls in it, but I never use them unless I need to fix a horse. In such a case, to be on stall rest kind of thing. So most of the time, horses just live out, enjoy their life in the fresh air. Look at that, Nanners and Lena. Olive said, I'm an amazing trainer and owner. Thank you very much. Kind and effective, positive and gentle training. I do as best as I can with what I know at the time. Is it big? No, the barn's not big. I don't have a barn, actually, for that matter. Roni's guarding really, yeah, they stick together quite close. I'm not sure she fully appreciates it, but whatever. Horses utilize pressure against each other, so I don't see how it's negative as long as it's not too much for that individual horse. Yes, the negative pressure. So again, yeah, negative reinforcement and positive reinforcement has been a confusing term, and I think it came from dog training. So I don't know, but we want to be able to train with draw. We don't want to have to use drive, but drive is not a bad thing. Unless it's way too much and you end up causing too much trouble or pain when you never needed to. So, Rick, hey, thanks, buddy. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and a sliver of paradise with all of us. Gee whiz, I appreciate that an awful lot. Thank you kindly. I try. I do. I long time ago I had said I just want to move the needle a little in the horse world. Maybe just a few people or something. You know, just spread some ideas, some knowledge, proof. You know, if these guys were frozen and poorly maintained or something like that, they would not look the way they do. They would not be running around. They would not be full fluffy coats, physically healthy horses. So, you know, time tells. So try to share that. I want to make a difference. So thank you, Rick. Really appreciate that. I call it my equine therapy. Rick's doing his best to catch up on videos. Whew. It's a lot. It's a lot. Some of them are just pointless little things. Some of them are useful. It's a happy place in an ugly world of social media and keyboard cowboys. You know, it's funny. It's I get very few of those keyboard warriors that come in. It's very, very unusual. That one that popped in, that Carol lady, you know, she'd be a type of person that would say it's abuse for them to be out in 5-degree weather. It's okay. It's all right. She'll find a channel that makes her much happier, content, brings her peace. This doesn't work for her. That's okay. Look at the boys. Love it when they play. I love it. They're my favorite. Ron says, you keep it immaculate. They're picking those piles as soon as they drop, and I'm very impressed at your operation. It's my first day watching your live stream. Thanks, Ron. I do try to keep it tidy and clean, because if you don't, it turns into many other places that I've been to are just full of mud, disrepair, because it gets overwhelming if you don't keep up with things. Luke, that's never going to work. Roni never moves for you. Bite him, Roni. Bite him. Uh-oh. Here comes the butt. See, Roni doesn't care. He doesn't move his feet. All that pressure that Luke provided. Roni says, no caresies. He says, don't go near my Ruli. I'll kick you and kick you hard. Ruli says, I like sniffing the wheelbarrow. Moving on. Pop's back. Hello, Pop. Where'd you go? To watch other videos. Well, welcome back. Pop says, hopefully I can go to Canada soon once this Rona stops. Wallace says, can you film raking the arena? That was great to watch too. Sure, why not? I got to do that pretty soon, actually. Maybe I'll do it today. Today or tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow, because it's got one more dry day would help out. Wet sand is hard to harrow. Well, that's it. See? Look at that. It's the thread of the kick. Looks like, fine, I'm out. Yeah, harrowing the arena is a barrel of monkeys. It's a tedious job. It kind of reminds me of that scene in Forrest Gump where he's mowing the lawn. Like, oh yeah, I know how that feels. You just kind of cruise around and daydream a little. It's good. Ron says, oh, Marianne says, wanting to bring my horse over to the States and find all the trail rides all over US and Canada. You'd never leave. There's tons of them. Ron says, I used to believe they needed blankets like it was a must. Then I boarded my horse to the place he stills today and saw how Mother Nature controls their hair growth. Yes. So another thing to add into that, Ron, if maybe nobody's told you. So the scientific term for their hair, and it works for us, it works for birds, it works for most animals, is when we fluff up, the hair stands up, whether you get a scare or you're cold or something like that, the hair stands up due to a term called piloerection. So the skin, essentially, where the hair grows out of, tightens up and causes the hair to stand up. So horses are exactly the same. It's why they're so darn fluffy. Like Roni's the fluffiest. Let's see if I can even zoom in on him. Probably just shows up as a blur. He's super fluffy. And, you know, he's a great example of what's referred to as piloerection. Whereas Ruli, who regularly has a blanket on, is very flat-haired right now. And so it's a great couple examples standing right next to each other, where you can see, let me see if I can kind of come in a little closer, give you guys an idea. So piloerection is a normal, uh-oh, I lost them because I jumped down. Virginia says, how's Peggy doing? Peggy's doing great. Okay, hopefully the internet survives out in the arena. Usually it kind of cuts out a bit. Let me know. Let's go over to Roni. And we'll say hello. Little pet on the nose. Get his tail. Ask him to stay. I teach all my horses to stay if I've got their tail. Stay. Thank you. Pet him. Now I'm going to hold his tail just because I want to. But you can see how stand up. Hopefully you can see how very fluffy. Standing up tall. His hair is all standing outwards. You can see that here. Okay. This is don't catch me. Whereas Ruli, on the other hand, has just as long of, almost as long of hairs, but it's all matted down. No piloerection. Very little. Just a little here, but all along here it's all flat. Flat, flat, flat. So it's the difference between a horse that is regularly blanketed, never blanketed. All the rest are the same. If they're warm, which really might be, they don't get fluffy. They stay matted down. The piloerection does not happen. Lena tends not to be too fluffy. She tends to not be overly fluffy. It gets really unusual to see Lena fluffy. Luke gets fluffy. Gracie gets pretty fluffy. I'd say Nanners is half fluffy. Never blanketed. The blankets force the hairs down. For one, they mat the hairs down. And two, they do provide, obviously, insulation factor. So they replace the fluffiness with its own fluffiness. The biggest problem with that is when the blankets get wet, and they're essentially not made, they're made out of cotton or nylon. They get wet and they stay wet and they get heavy and they mat down even further, and there's less insulation value. So something to pay attention to, something to think about. You know, it's okay one way or another. Personally, I'm a no blanket kind of guy, and they do fantastic. You can tell he's keeping himself warm. Hi, buddy. A little touch to the nose. I want to come. I've got a tripod here. It's long and kind of, you know, looks like a stick. So he might be thinking to be worried, but very, very fluffy. Like a really nice certain type of blanket that you can buy right now. Really nice. So, and it stays up. But when you put a blanket on, it mats, it pushes it down, and it'll stay down. Combined with that, it does sort of trick the body into thinking that it doesn't need to happen. And it'll take, if you were to leave a blanket off of Ruli, I bet she would puff up more. In fact, here's perfect proof of it. Look at her neck. No blanket. Blanket. No blanket. Blanket. It's fantastic. It's really, really amazing stuff. See? There's the difference. Blanket, no blanket. Doesn't mean she isn't cold then, right? So colder up there, puffs up. It's normal. Hi, Ruli. Am I bugging you too much? Gracie's yelling. So, Ron, there you go. Hopefully that was some kind of useful information. I don't even know. But for anybody else that's unaware, that is the science behind blanketing and how horses stay warm. Because if you create that fluffiness, that pocket of air is a decent insulator. So that's how it works. It's neat stuff. So Marianne says, is it flat because the skin doesn't recognize it needs to fluff up? A little bit, yes, absolutely. If they're warmer underneath the blanket, that's not a for surezies. But what we can say that the blanket definitely mats down the hair and will hold it down. It's kind of like getting bedhead, you know? Everybody wakes up in the morning with bedhead, and you only sleep for what, 6 to 9 hours? Ida says, don't horses also produce less hair during the winter when they are blanketed? Not as far as I'm aware. As far as I'm aware, hair isn't grown based on if they're warm or not. It's based on just nature, the amount of sun. But I don't know if there's a definitive study done on that. Yeah, I think you'd have a hard time making a study on that unless you created a closed environment. But I'm pretty sure it's based on sort of the season. It doesn't. That didn't make a lot of sense. They're not plants, right? You know what? So anyhow, so I'm not sure, but I don't think so. Let's see. I've heard people say a healthy horse needs around 2 weeks to transition from blanketed living to a non-blanketed living. I don't think so. I think it's pretty quick. A few days, maybe. Ron says, I almost left the boarding farm because they didn't allow blankets. It's now 12 years later. My boy has never been healthier and happier. Thank you for sharing all that with me. Yes, great info. Oh, that's good, Ron. I'm glad I was able to share something that was hopefully a little bit useful and at least backs up everything you're kind of doing as the right thing. You know, there are definitely times. I mean, Ruli is kind of a decent example, I'd say, of where blankets are going to assist in keeping her even warmer during the coldness than maybe her body could keep her. She's an older horse. She eats a lot though. She's always got food in her tum-tum. But she's an older horse and she's kind of a little, I don't know if she's underweight, but she's definitely slim. So she's well paid attention to. She gets her blanket off every day and gets observed. We don't want to leave blankets on all the time as well because they can cause blanket sores. Luke's got a white spot on his withers, I think, from blanket being left on for far too long, because some people just leave them on forever. They just don't pay attention to them. Get wet, get torn. I've seen some pictures of horses really getting wrapped up in wrecked blankets. It's a whole topic in and of itself. So Ruli's not unhealthy for it. I'm not giving these demonstrations to show that anything's bad or unhealthy. They're demonstrations literally of just the science of standing here versus non-standing here. What is the difference? What is the objective difference that we have here? And that is there is a blanket on or no blanket. So it's interesting stuff. Would the rest of her hair stand up if she didn't have that blanket on? Yes, it would. 100%. If it's going to stand up on her neck where there's no blanket, then it would stand up on the rest of her body. Kick 'em, Nanners. Kick 'em. She butt punches them a lot. Jeez, eh? Moving on. I was watching one of your videos. Pop says, I was watching one of your videos from 2 years ago. Someone was having their head on your left shoulder. I think that was Roni. Possibly. Just made that up. Weird. Virginia, people's skin does the same. It's called goosebumps. Exactly. Piloerection. Same thing, where the hair follicle essentially tightens and causes the hair to stand. Totally normal. Those two are so strange, eh? They just do that the whole time they're together. She stops. Okay, well, I guess I better get on with chores. It's been almost 2 hours. That's crazy talk. I talk too much. Way too much talk. What time we got? Yeah, I gotta get on with things. It's great having you guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. A little bit of, whoa. Get him, Nanners. If you don't, I will. Happily. Hoppy, skippy, hoppy, skippy, hoppy, skippy. Marianne says there can never be enough talk. 2 hours. It is amazing. Love the stream. Great break in the day. Have a great day. You too. Everybody. I hope you guys have a great day or evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are on the planet. It's going to be afternoon for me shortly. And I will see you guys in the next one. Or night. Yes. Evening or night. So, thanks for coming. Thanks for joining. Thanks, Rick, for a little bit of cash for the horses. I shall be buying new hay bags soon. So that actually, I need a new wheelbarrow. Maybe I'll put it towards that. Oh man, wheelbarrows are pricey. I looked around trying to find one on sale because a minimum $100, you know. But one of the wheelbarrows has literally almost fallen off of the arms. It's just rusted through. So it happens. I think it's 2 or 3 years old by now. So used every day, you know, every single day. Can I put a link to the store? Yeah, buy the blanket. Absolutely. Thanks. It's usually in every single description of video, but I don't have an opportunity to type here. Shirley's here. Hello, Shirley. I can't type in the chat on my phone, so somebody else would have to chuck it in. But yeah, it's just got to. I appreciate that, Olives. It's over at stablehorsetraining.com, and in there's a shop. Wow. Kick 'em, Nanners. Look at Roni. What a goof, eh? He doesn't even have to go that far, and he's excited. Yeah. Irina, welcome to a live chat finally. Live stream. It's great having you guys. Sue. 2 Sues. And Olives. Yeah, Shirley, we're just about finished up, but you can always rewatch it. It's online now. YouTube records it, puts it up later. Thanks, Ron, for popping in. I think it's your first time as well. Gracie says, go away. Marianne, Ida, G-Mall, Pop, Virginia. I don't know who I'm missing. There's so many of you here. Gwen, look at him go. Oh, gee whiz, eh? Well, I'll have to put them away soon anyways. Got lots to do. A little bit more cleanup. Getting on with the day. Okay, I'll see you guys again next time. Thanks for coming in, watching, hanging out. There they go. It's a great day.